Imagine a single windowless building that devours more electricity than the entire city of New Orleans on its hottest day. And what if I told you, you might be the one paying for it? Welcome to Richland Parish, Louisiana. Deep in the American South, one of the most powerful companies on Earth is quietly constructing a beast. It is known as Project Hyperion, an artificial intelligence supercluster spanning 2,250 acres. That is exactly 4 times the size of Manhattan's Central Park. But this isn't just a story about big tech expanding. This is a story of a hidden $30 billion financial loophole, a scheme that keeps massive debts off the books, drains local aquifers, and forces everyday citizens to bear the risk of the global AI arms race. The future of technology has a very dark, very physical cost. To understand the scale of what is happening, we have to look at the fuel that powers artificial intelligence. To train the next generation of open-source large language models, Meta requires unprecedented computing power. The Hyperion data center is designed to deliver a staggering 2 gigawatts of compute capacity. Let that sink in. A typical older data center consumes enough power for about 10,000 homes. This single AI facility will consume as much power as a small metropolis. But where does all that energy come from in a state with an already aging and unreliable power grid? Enter the local utility monopoly, Entergy, Louisiana. To meet Meta's voracious demand, Entergy has committed to building 3 brand new natural gas power plants. While the utility company claims this project will benefit everyone, a closer look at the fine print reveals a terrifying reality for the locals. Data centers of this magnitude often lead to higher bills for all residential customers, unless a special rate class is strictly enforced. In fact, reports suggest that while Meta is paying for a portion of these gas plants, an estimated $550 million for new transmission lines could be pushed directly onto the electric bills of regular Louisiana taxpayers. And it is not just electricity. AI servers run incredibly hot. To prevent the Hyperion supercomputers from literally melting down, the facility requires massive cooling systems. Estimates show that this data center will gulp down approximately 5 million gallons of water every single day. That is nearly 2 billion gallons a year, pulled directly from the Mississippi River alluvial aquifer. Local farmers, whose livelihoods depend on this fragile water infrastructure, are left wondering if the aquifer can ever refill fast enough to sustain them. The environmental toll is so severe that critics are already comparing the resulting pollution from the new gas plants to Louisiana's infamous Cancer Alley. So, how do you pay for a $30 billion mega project without terrifying your shareholders or ruining your corporate balance sheet? You use a financial ghost. Meta pulled off the largest private credit data center deal in history by creating a special purpose vehicle, or SPV, codenamed Beignet Investor. Here is how the magic trick works. Meta only owns 20% of this SPV, while an investment firm named Blue Owl Capital holds the remaining 80%. Together, they quietly borrowed roughly $27 billion from private credit funds like Pimco. Because Meta owns a minority stake in the Beignet SPV, that massive $27 billion debt does not show up as a long-term liability on Meta's primary financial statements. It is a textbook off-balance sheet play for capital efficiency. Meta simply leases the data center back from the SPV, renewing the lease in short, 4-year cycles to keep investors happy. But this creates a massive systemic risk. These AI facilities are purpose-built with specialized cooling and high-density power grids designed exclusively for AI servers. Converting them back to normal cloud computing is incredibly expensive. What happens if the AI bubble bursts? What happens if demand cools down? If Meta decides to walk away at the end of a lease, Blue Owl would be forced to sell the center to pay off the bondholders. If the facility becomes a stranded asset with depressed liquidation value, the financial fallout could be catastrophic. But remember, the 3 natural gas power plants and the $550 million in transmission lines built by Entergy will still be there, and the citizens of Louisiana will still be paying for them. This is the ultimate corporate playbook. Privatize the profits, socialize the risks. The pushback has already begun. A highly unusual coalition is forming to fight this. The Louisiana Energy Users Group, which actually includes massive petrochemical corporations like ExxonMobil and Dow Chemical, has officially protested the utility's plans. They submitted briefs arguing that Entergy is using its monopoly power to unreasonably impose financial risks onto captive ratepayers. When giant oil and chemical companies are telling the government that a tech company's energy project is too risky for the local grid, you know something is fundamentally broken in the system. Hyperion is not an isolated incident, it is the blueprint for the next decade. As the AI arms race accelerates, tech giants will continue to seek out rural areas with relaxed zoning laws and massive tax exemptions. They will build gigawatt fortresses, drain local resources, and use brilliant financial engineering to shield themselves from the consequences. The future of artificial intelligence isn't just happening in the cloud, it is happening in our backyards. And the real question is, when the bill finally comes due, who is really going to pay it? If you want to uncover the hidden infrastructure running our world, hit that subscribe button right now. In our next video, we are exposing the classified military network floating right above your head. Stay sharp, and I'll see you next time.